What's up, everybody? My name is Blue Drake, and did this game just get deleted off of Steam? So, I'm not sure if you're aware, but if you try and go search for Ready or Not on Steam right now, you'll notice that it's not there. And there hasn't been that much information released as to why yet, but there are already articles that are coming out saying that the reason is possibly because Steam has removed the game from Steam for controversial content. Now, if you haven't been following, Ready or Not just launched a massive update which includes a new map that is set in a nightclub during an active shooter scenario. Now, the problem is that this update was actually launched on the anniversary of the Orlando nightclub shooting, which is a little bit odd. I'm not sure if that was an accident or not, but I'm assuming that it would be pretty hard for that to be an accident. But it seems that Steam is not particularly okay with that coincidence, if it even was a coincidence, and it might be now that Steam has removed the game because of this. Now, Steam has in the past removed other games for controversial content, like school shooting simulators and stuff like that, and Ready or Not has always kind of blurred the line when it comes to what's acceptable and what's not, according to Steam's guidelines. That is, obviously there's a lot of people that enjoy Ready or Not, but there's a difference between whether the public enjoys Ready or Not and thinks it's controversial or not, or whether Steam enjoys it or thinks it's controversial. And since Steam owns Steam, then it's kind of more important what they think. In this case, it might be that this has really towed the line for them. Now, of course, Ready or Not is a much more serious game. It's not a troll game trying to be controversial intentionally, at least not in a way that isn't taking the subject matter seriously, but it could be that launching this update during this time was a little bit too much. And the only reason I'm interested in covering this is because I think this is going to be, if the circumstances are correct and this was actually removed under those pretenses, this could be a pretty hot topic in the coming weeks, because there's a lot of elements of this that I think have a lot of implications. First off, the rights to free speech, but, being censored on a platform. For instance, YouTube, this is a big thing. Obviously, free speech is important, but at the same time, you can't just monetize and upload whatever you want because it is their platform and they set the rules. But sometimes they kind of inconsistently enforce their own rules, but that's kind of to be expected because when you have a massive platform, you can't police everything equally, which is also kind of the problem. Same with Steam. I think this is kind of a similar situation, and more importantly, if Ready or Not gets removed off of Steam, what is that going to mean for the future of the game? Is the game going to go to a competing storefront? Are they going to launch on their own website? Are they going to distribute there? More and more and more, we are seeing studios being forced to figure this out because Steam isn't really a safe place for everybody, and sometimes you just can't distribute your game there, whether it's because the revenue shares are too high or they don't allow certain types of games on there, or all sorts of other issues that are forcing some people away. Not too many people. Steam is a pretty safe haven for the vast majority of developers, but when you have instances like this, it kind of makes you question what the future is going to be like. So let me know your thoughts down below. Do you yourself know any more about this situation that everybody would maybe want to know? How do you feel about this situation if the allegations are true? Do you think that they are protected under free speech? Do you think that they went too far with this update? I want to know. Personally, I'm kind of still trying to figure out how I feel about the situation as well. Obviously, I think Ready or Not is a great tactical shooter, But at the same time, I think that there definitely is a line. Now, whether they're intentionally trying to cross that line or if this is just an awkward coincidence that this update just happened to be at the same time as another mass shooting, although at the same time, there's a lot of mass shootings in America. So as time goes on, I think people might be hard-pressed to find a day that isn't an anniversary of one mass shooting or another. But I also think for some of these games, that's kind of the point, drawing attention to how horrible these things are and how commonplace they've become could be a pretty big political commentary when it comes to some of these games that take the subject matter seriously. But I think that's the question, is whether Void Interactive was actually taking this seriously and was having political commentary based on how horrible these events are, or if they actually were dropping this update on the anniversary of that shooting. Are they kind of glorifying that anniversary? I don't think that this would be the right way to pay respects to the victims, the people that were in that horrible situation. And as you guys may or may not know, previously Ready or Not split ties with Team 17, allegedly because they had plans to introduce a school shooting mission into the game, which I think Team 17 just in the end felt was too much for them, and they split ways. And maybe this is the kind of stuff that Team 17 was potentially worried about? I guess we'll just have to see. So the main thing I think I would want to know from Void is, like, was the date of this update intentional? Was this actually targeting the Orlando anniversary? Is that a coincidence? I feel like it's unlikely that it was. And what were your intentions? You know, when you launched this update, what was kind of like the political commentary on shootings if this was indeed about that anniversary? You know, like, how did you see this being received? I'm genuinely curious. And again, if anybody in the comments knows more about this situation, please let me know as well, because I love Ready or Not. I think it's a great game, but I am kind of worried if this game is going to be making itself vulnerable to getting removed off of Steam if it starts handling topics too insensitively that get it kicked off of platforms. Like, that's going to affect things. So I would love to know. Besides that, thanks so much for watching. I appreciate you guys listening to my opinion. I would love to hear yours as well. And of course, if you want to keep in touch with all of the things that I love most about video games that I cover on this channel, press that subscribe button. And hopefully I'll see you guys in the next one. All right, cheers.